It's not every day you see a player go from Iranian club football to becoming one of Europe's top scorers, but that's exactly what Mehdi Taremi did. It took him 9 years to get his break in a top European league, but when he finally landed in Portugal, he made sure everyone knew his name. 18 goals in his first season, joint top scorer, no messing around. From there, he became a key man at Porto, scoring bangers and showing he could handle the big stage. Now, he's at Intermilan, but the story isn't as smooth. Some say he's struggling, others think he's just underrated. So what's really going on with Taremi? Is he still on the rise, or has he hit his ceiling? Let's break it all down. And hey, if you love good football content, hit that like button and subscribe. Mehdi Taremi wasn't just another kid kicking a ball around in the streets of Bushehr. Football ran in his blood. Born in 1992 in the coastal city of Bushehr, Iran, Taremi grew up in a household where the game was more than just a pastime. His father, Alisha, and his older brother, Mohammed, were both professional footballers, setting the stage for him to follow in their footsteps. But while his brother played in other positions, young Mehdi took after his father, choosing to become a forward. His journey started early. At just 10 years old, he joined the youth academy of Barg Bushehr, a local club that became his first real footballing home. 4 years later, in 2006, he moved to Iran Javan's youth setup. By the time he turned 18, he was ready for the next step. His professional debut with Shaheen Bushehr, a military-affiliated club. Though he only managed 7 appearances and a single goal in all competitions, it was a crucial stepping stone. However, his career hit a roadblock in 2012. Like many young Iranian men, he had to serve his mandatory military conscription. Ideally, he could have continued playing by joining a military-affiliated club, but things didn't go as planned. Instead of securing a spot on a team, he was sent to a standard garrison, putting his football dreams on hold. After his military service interruption, Taremi returned to familiar ground, rejoining Iran Javan in the summer of 2013. This was his chance to restart his career, and he didn't waste it. Handed the number 9 shirt, he made sure to live up to the responsibility. With 12 goals in just 22 games, he quickly became one of the hottest strikers in Iranian football, finishing as the second highest goal scorer in the league that season. With a reputation for finding the back of the net, it didn't take long before a bigger club came calling. In 2014, Taremi made the jump to Persepolis, Iran's most successful club. This was a step up, but he handled the pressure like a seasoned pro. Over 4 seasons, he bagged 53 goals in 105 appearances. In his very first season, he was already making waves, winning the Best Striker award in the 14th Persian Gulf Pro League for his outstanding performances in the 2014-15 campaign. But for all his success, Taremi's time at Persepolis wasn't without drama. The biggest controversy of his career came in his final season, and it was over a contract dispute with Turkish club Çaykur Rizespor. Back in June 2016, he had reached an agreement to join the Turkish side, only to backtrack and return to Persepolis. FIFA wasn't having any of it. After a long legal battle, the ruling went against him. Not only was Taremi handed a 4-month ban, but Persepolis was also banned from signing players for 2 consecutive transfer windows. It was a bitter blow for both the club and the player, but Taremi was never the type to let setbacks define him. Instead, he was already looking ahead. And so, after 8 years of professional football in Iran, Mehdi Taremi felt it was time for something new. He had dominated the domestic scene, won personal accolades, and built a reputation as a lethal striker. But he wanted more. He wanted to test himself outside of his comfort zone. And so, his first stop was in Qatar. In 2018, Taremi signed for Al Gharafa, a club known for attracting top talents from around Asia and beyond. His impact was immediate, with 20 goals in 41 matches. He adapted quickly to a new league, a new style of play, and new challenges. But deep down, he knew this was just a stepping stone. It was only a matter of time before Europe came calling. And when the call came, it was from Portugal. Rio Ave, a club with a solid reputation for developing talent, saw something special in him. This wasn't a European giant, but it was a club that had played a big role in the careers of top players like Jean Oblak, Ederson, Rui Jorge, and Fabio Coentrão. Now, it was Taremi's turn to follow in their footsteps. Rio Ave was in transition when he arrived. They had just finished 5th in the Primera Liga, and that league position came at a cost. Their manager Miguel Cardoso had left for League One side of Nantes, and several key players had moved on. Despite that, the club wasn't looking to slow down. They went on a smart recruitment drive, bringing in talents like Carlos Mané, Leo Jardim, Aderlan Santos, Lucas Piazon, and of course, Mehdi Taremi. So, how did Mehdi Taremi's first season in Portugal go? In one word, explosive. The Iranian striker wasted no time making his mark at Rio Ave. In his very first Primera Liga start, he announced himself with a stunning hat-trick against Aves. The following week, he put on another masterclass by winning 3 penalties in a 3-2 win over Sporting CP. This wasn't just a hot streak. It was a sign of things to come. Taremi was unstoppable that season. He finished with 21 goals and 2 assists in 37 appearances, spearheading Rio Ave's attack under Carlos Carvalhal. His goals helped the club secure a 5th-place finish, edging out Famalicão on the final day of the season to book a spot in the Europa League qualifiers. His 18 league goals saw him finish as the Premier Liga's joint top scorer alongside Carlos Vinicius and Pizzi of Benfica. In the process, he became Rio Ave's highest single-season goal scorer since Armando Fati Nahabola's 20-goal tally back in 1983. 27 years old at this point, it was clear Taremi was already at his prime and had his eyes on the big prize. One brilliant season was all he needed to convince the biggest club in Portugal to come knocking. FC Porto came calling, and just like that, Taremi was on the move again, ready to take his game to an even higher level. Taremi's move to Porto cost €4.5 million, and he was joining a club that had just won the domestic double and was looking to reinforce its attack. The expectations were sky high, and Taremi was ready to deliver. While Porto would go on to lose the Primera Liga title to Ruben Amorim's high-flying Sporting CP, Taremi made sure his debut season would be one to remember. He scored 23 goals and 18 assists in all competitions, proving to be one of the most productive forwards in Europe. But his biggest moments came on the grandest stage, the UEFA Champions League. In February 2021, Taremi made history in the round of 16 first-leg match against Juventus, becoming the first Iranian ever to score in the knockout phase of the competition. And then there was Chelsea. If Taremi's goal against Juventus was historic, his strike against the eventual champions in the quarterfinals was pure magic. With Porto trailing 2-0 on aggregate, he produced an outrageous bicycle kick in stoppage time to secure a 1-0 away win at Stamford Bridge. It wasn't enough to overturn the deficit, but it was a goal that left the footballing world stunned. The strike didn't just win Porto the match, it won hearts and awards. UEFA crowned it the Champions League Goal of the Season, and it later went on to claim the UEFA.com Goal of the Season award. If that wasn't enough, it also earned him a nomination for the prestigious FIFA Puskas award given to the best goal of the year. In just one season, Taremi had gone from a promising striker in Portugal to a global name in football, and this was only the beginning. But what exactly is it about Mehdi Taremi that makes him such a massive success everywhere he goes? Before we get into that, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. Have you done that already? Great. Now, let's break down what makes Taremi such a dangerous forward. Standing at 6'2", Taremi is the perfect blend of physicality, technical ability, and a pure striker's instinct. He's got that aerial presence you'd expect from a classic number 9, but what sets him apart is his intelligence and movement. Think of a mix of Edin Dzeko, Karim Benzema, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. His finishing ability is elite. Whether it's close-range tap-in, a curling shot from the edge of the box, or an audacious bicycle kick, Taremi knows how to put the ball in the net. He thrives inside the box, lurking on the shoulder of defenders, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But he's not just a poacher. His awareness and positioning allow him to anticipate where the ball will end up before anyone else does. And then there's his link-up play. Unlike traditional target men, Taremi isn't just a finisher, he's also a creator. He can drop deep, hold off defenders, and pick out teammates with pinpoint passes. This makes him incredibly difficult to mark because he can either stay high and finish chances or drift into midfield and dictate play. If anyone thought Mehdi Taremi's breakout season at Porto was just a fluke, they were in for a rude awakening. The Iranian striker wasn't just here to make up the numbers. He was here to dominate. In his second season, Taremi played a crucial role in helping Porto reclaim the Premier Liga title with 20 goals and 13 assists, making him the league's second highest goal scorer and third highest assist provider in what was a near-perfect combination of scoring and playmaking. And if there was one game that summed up his brilliance, it was Porto's 4-2 away win over Famalicão, where he scored all 4 goals. By his third season, Taremi had reached an entirely new level. He won the Bola de Prata as the league's top scorer with 22 goals and 7 assists, cementing himself as one of the most feared forwards in Portugal. He also lifted his second Taça de Portugal trophy and for the 4th consecutive season earned a spot in the Primeira Liga Team of the Year. At this point, there was no doubt about it. Taremi had conquered 3 leagues in a row. His European journey was nothing short of a smash hit, and the world was starting to take notice. After 4 incredible seasons in Portugal, Taremi officially signed a 3-year contract with Italian champions Inter Milan. In doing so, he made history as the first Iranian player and only the second Asian player to wear the famous black and blue stripes. The expectations were massive. Inter had just won the league, and they were bringing in Taremi to add more firepower to an already dangerous squad that had Lautaro Martinez and Mehdi Taremi. But so far, things haven't quite gone Taremi style. Instead of the explosive start he's had at his previous clubs, his first season at Inter has been a struggle. In 34 games, he has managed just 3 goals and 6 assists, a far cry from the numbers he was putting up in Portugal. Even more concerning, he has found the net just once in Serie A, converting a penalty against Lecce in January 2025. For a striker who thrives on confidence, this kind of form is unusual. So what's really going on with Mehdi Taremi? And what are we possibly overlooking? Well, word on the street is that Taremi has been dealing with a stubborn groin injury called pubalgia. Sounds fancy, but in reality, it's a nightmare for any athlete. This isn't just some minor discomfort that goes away with a bit of rest. It's a persistent, nagging pain that has apparently stuck with him for most of the season. Reports say he's been relying on painkillers just to make it through matches. Groin injuries, especially for strikers, are a massive problem. They don't just affect movement, they mess with balance, power, and most importantly, confidence. You can't play freely when you're constantly second-guessing whether a sudden movement will send a jolt of pain through your body. And sure, painkillers can mask the pain temporarily, but they're not fixing the underlying issue. If anything, they might be making it worse by allowing him to push through when his body clearly needs a break. But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite his struggles in Serie A, Taremi showed up big time for Iran. During the World Cup qualifiers, he scored both goals in a crucial 2-2 draw against Uzbekistan, securing Iran's spot in the 2026 World Cup. How does a player who seems off the pace at club level suddenly flip the switch and become a hero on the international stage? Well, there are a few theories. One big possibility? Maybe Taremi just isn't the right fit for Inzaghi's high-intensity, fast-paced system at Inter Milan. Let's be real, Inter thrives on quick transitions, relentless pressing, and dynamic movement, especially from their forwards. It's a demanding style that requires peak athleticism, constant energy, and rapid decision-making. And when you're dealing with a lingering groin injury, that kind of game plan is brutal. Now, contrast that with Iran's national team. Different system, different expectations, different rhythm. He's playing alongside familiar teammates who understand his movements, and the tactics are probably tailored more to his strengths. This kind of comfort level can make a massive difference. Then there's the competition at Inter. Taremi isn't just trying to prove himself. He's up against 2 of the coldest strikers in world football right now. Mehdi Taremi has been electric, bringing pace, physicality, and creativity to Inter's frontline. And then there's Lautaro Martinez, the club captain, a Ballon d'Or nominee, and arguably one of the most complete strikers in Europe. Breaking into that duo is not easy. So could it be that Taremi is struggling to adapt? Is he being forced into a role that doesn't suit him? Or is this just a case of bad luck with injuries holding him back? Whatever the case, one thing's for sure, he's got a point to prove and time is running out. For Taremi, the road ahead is clear but not easy. The first priority will be sorting out his injury. Whether it takes rest, rehab, or even medical intervention, getting back to full fitness is non-negotiable. Plying through pain can only get him so far, and if he doesn't address the root of the problem, it could derail his entire season. Beyond the injury concerns, there's a tactical adaptation. The talent is there. His track record speaks for itself. He's proven his quality in Portugal on the international stage and even in glimpses at Inter. But talent alone isn't enough. He needs to find a way to integrate into Inzaghi's system, whether that means tweaking his movement, improving his pressing intensity, or simply figuring out how to coexist with Lautaro and Taremi. And let's not forget the mental side of things. Confidence plays a massive role in a striker's form. The more he struggles, the more pressure builds. Every missed chance, every underwhelming performance, and every minute spent on the bench adds to the weight on his shoulders. If he lets that frustration take over, it could spiral into a slump that's even harder to escape. So what do you think? Is Taremi just going through a rough patch, or is this injury a bigger problem than we realize? Do you think he'll bounce back next season, or is his time at Inter already ticking down? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Stick around and click on the next one for more juicy football content.